Welcome to the Keto Witch channel. My name is Michelle, and we are going to be continuing our Witches of the World series today. So stick around. This is the second video of Witches of the World, and I want to focus on Mother Shipton, or the prophetess. She is one of the women that have influenced the world of witches, so I want to share a little bit of information about her with you. Mother Shipton's real name was Ursula Southeil, and she was from England. She was a very well-known prophet, probably the most well-known prophet from England, and she was compared a lot to Nostradamus. One of her very first collections of her prophecies wasn't really made popular until 80 years after her death. She would write her prophecies in a sort of poetic structure. She foretold events such as the Spanish Armada of 1588 and the Great Plague of London in 1665. Let us go back to the year of 1488. There in England, Yorkshire to be exact, there is a 15-year-old named Agatha. She finds herself pregnant and unwed. And in order to escape from all the talk, all the rumors, everything going on, she doesn't want to reveal who the father is. So by her omitting that information, the people of Yorkshire do not accept her unbirthed child. So Agatha decides to go into the woods. She finds a cave where she decides to settle and give birth to her child. Now, these woods are some special woods, and without getting into too much detail, they were known as being the Devil Woods, or some crazy, unexplainable things that would happen in these woods. One of the things that was known was a lake where if you would touch the water, you would turn to stone. But Agatha had no fear of this, and she went ahead and went into these woods. She gave birth to a daughter and lived there for 2 years. Rumors began of her daughter being the devil's child. Agatha did name her daughter Ursula, so that is Ursula Southeil. Now, Agatha, it seems she was offered to get taken into a convent, so she did give Ursula away at 2 years old. She would be given to a local woman who later would tell that really strange, odd things would happen in her home as soon as Ursula was taken in. Things such as furniture moving, dishes breaking, other stuff later on in Ursula's future goes to show that maybe she did in fact have some powers, and when she was a child she did not know how to control these. Now, as for Agatha, she was never heard from again. There are some historical entries stating that she did in fact go to a convent, but years later she just simply disappeared. Now, one thing about Ursula, she was often called ugly, hag-face, and hunchback. Eventually, when she was still young, she decided to go back to the cave where she was born to escape all this horrible treatment from the people of Yorkshire. There in the cave, she became one with nature and started making natural remedies and collected flowers and herbs, and that's how she started making a living. She offered these herbal remedies to the people of Yorkshire. At age 24, Ursula marries a carpenter named Toby Shipton, and they move to KNARESBOROUGH. England. Ursula continues her herbal practice and actually begins giving fortunes. She starts gaining fame and is named Mother Shipton. Mother Shipton was unlike all the other witches that had to go through being punished for their practice. She was actually never prosecuted for witchcraft. She actually gained popularity and was even well known by the king, especially after she did state one of his fortunes. Mother Shipton died of natural causes in 1561, which she actually predicted herself. Her cave and a petrified well adjacent to the cave are still popular tourist attractions. Shipton's gravesite location is unknown. She was not able to have a Christian burial, so people rumor that she was buried in the woods where she was born, and many people do agree with that, especially some of the workers and tourists that have stated that they can sense her presence. As for the well and the Skull Lake rumors of turning things into stone, it is actually true. There is a scientific explanation behind it, but if you really want to know, you can go ahead and do your own research. I prefer to leave it a magical mystery here on my channel. I do want to share one of the prophecies that Mother Shipton stated. I just love the wording of this one, and I love how to the point it is and how clear it is after the fact that it does happen. So it goes like, water shall come over Ouse Bridge, and a windmill shall be set upon a tower, and an elm tree shall lie at every man's door. Locals from Yorkshire were astounded when there was a water pipe system sent into town, and it came across the Ouse River Bridge. So they were getting the water from that river, and it had to go through the bridge, and they actually used a windmill to bring in the water. As for the elm trees, pipes were carved out of elm trees because elm trees do not rot. So they were hollowed out, and those were the pipes that would go from the streets into the houses. So elm trees shall lie at every man's door. So there you have it, a little bit about Mother Shipton. Again, I will be including some of the resources that I found. So in case you want to do some more investigation, you can go ahead and go to these links. I'll also try to find a scientific website for the woods where she was born across the River Nid and give you some of that explanation on how that lake turns everything into stone. Let me know what was your favorite thing that you learned about Mother Shipton, or if you have another fun fact or one of her favorite prophecies, please share with me. I will see you guys next week. Stay magical. Mother Shipton died of... I already said that. KNARESBOROUGH had. I am gonna start